as they do every single year, the Texas State Fair. Oh, they always invite the University of Oklahoma down to their state fair to take on the big, bad, bulky, nasty-looking Bevo and the University of Texas in the Cotton Bowl. And they did again this year. It wasn't pretty, by the way, but the Schooner does hold off a Texas fight. Wasn't easy, boys and girls. Let me tell you this stat, and this will tell you how not easy it was. There was only one third down conversion in this football game, and it happened in game time in the fourth quarter. Only one third down conversion, people. Think about that for a second. One third down conversion, and in the first half, 29 total yards of offense for Oklahoma. With only 29 total yards of offense in the first half, and with only one third down conversion. How did they end up beating Texas? 31-26? I'll tell you. Stay tuned. It was a big-time win for the Sooners that might have got them back in the college football playoff contention. Let's go, baby. Boomer Sooner. Welcome back to the post-game review of Oklahoma and Texas. As Texas and OU at the Cotton Bowl, 31-26, Schooner holds off a strong Texas fight. Now, before we even get to the stats and everything, Tyrone swoops. If you're a fan of Texas, or even back when they were back before the Big 12 was in existence, they had I believe it was called the Big South or something, whatever Texas and Texas A&M and Arkansas and all those good teams were in. There was a team in Lubbock called the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and they won their first ever national championship of any kind with Cheryl Swoops. This is the kind of, I guess, a long-distance nephew of her. And just like she had a lot of fight, boy, did this kid have a lot of fight. How much fight did he actually have? Passing game tells it all, folks. Against our great pass defense, which didn't play that great against TCU last week, but I thought that they'd bounce back. The aforementioned Tyrone Swoops, 334 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, but did throw a costly interception in the ballgame. As far as Trevor Knight, nowhere near 334. In fact, all he had was 129 and a touchdown. I will say, though, he didn't have a turnover. Way to go, Trevor. Let's continue that against Kansas State next weekend, all right? Rushing the ball leaders, Malcolm Brown and Samaje Perine. Sorry, Samaje. Malcolm Brown had 19 carries, 78 yards, and 1 touchdown. The aforementioned Samaje Perine, 18 carries, 62 yards, and a touch. Receiving-wise, Jackson Shipley had 9 catches for about 15, but didn't have a touchdown pass. Sterling Shepard, not quite 100 yards this time around. Only 63 yards, 4 catches, but did have the touchdown. Defensively, Jordan Evans played well in his first OU Texas game. for Oklahoma. He had 14 tackles for the Crimson and Cream. Jordan Hicks led the Texas side with 10 tackles. Kicking-wise, Nick Rose and Michael Honeycutt, well, those two guys did what they were supposed to do. They kicked the ball through the uprights. Nick Rose was 2 for 2. His long was 28. He also had a 20-yarder. Michael Honeycutt, 1 for 1, 100%. His long, 44. His only make, by the way. Punting the ball, Perry Ethan and Jed Barnett both played well. 9 punts and 8 punts respectively. Ethan had 8 punts, averaged 39.5 in average, 61 was his long, and 2 punts landed at the 20 inside the 20-yard line. As far as Jed Barnett, he was a more of a weapon than anything. 9 punts, 44 in average, 66 was his long, including 3 punts down inside the 20-yard line. All right, well, how did we get to the 30-26 squeaker, where you didn't even get a first down until the fourth quarter? How do you get there? This is how you get there. Nick Rose started it off with his long 28 of a 28-yard field goal with 8:16 left. 3-0 Horns. The exact next play on the kickoff, Alex Ross, the Swiss Army knife, 91-yard kick return for a touchdown. 8:04 left in the first quarter. 7-3. Sooners have the game and the momentum. Second quarter, Oklahoma adds to the momentum and the lead when Michael Honeycutt bangs in his 44-yard field goal up through the uprights and good. 13-19 left in the second quarter. Even more momentum heads OU's way when Tyrone Swoops throws the one interception that he had. This one was to Zach Sanchez, as Sanchez picks it off 43 yards for the touchdown. 11:18 left in the second with a Oklahoma lead, 17-3. Then Cheryl's nephew Tyrone Swoops says, "I'm not to be outdone here." Hits a 39-yard touchdown pass to John Harris. 8:17 left. 17-10. Sooners, though, still on the right side of the Red River shootout. Then, with 48 seconds left in the game, in the second half, Nick Rose kicks a 20-yard field goal. 17-13 Sooners. Fast forward through the admission of halftime. People come back into the stadium, all ready to go, revved up. And Trevor Knight gets them that way on the OU sideline. Finally, with 4:17 left in the quarter, when he hits Sterling Shepard with the first and only touchdown pass and reception of the night. 24-13 Sooners. Fourth quarter now. Samaje Perine helps the Sooners pull away. 31-13, a 13-yard touchdown run by Samaje Perine. 12:50 left in the fourth quarter. But in game time quarter, in the fourth quarter, I told you that Swoops has kind of that nastiness that his niece had. Well, he showed it off there late in the game on 2 key drives. First of all was the 6-yard touchdown pass to John Harris with 8:24 left, putting Texas back in the game, 31-13 in this one. Or 31-20, I guess. 31-20. Then Tyrone Swoops gets a 12-yard touchdown run on his own with 4:57 left. 2-point conversion, though, no good. 26-31. And 26-31 is your final. Quite a specter out in Dallas, and it wasn't even hot. It was a cool, brisk 61-ish up there might have been 70s. No sun, but man, the teams were hot. Josh Heupel's hype of the game came when the Sooners offense got hot there in the third quarter. Sterling Shepard, 31-yard handoff. Good call by Josh, 31 yards up the gut. The defensive stop of the game, of course, you have got to give it to Zach Sanchez. A 43-yard interception return for a touchdown. There we go. And again, special teams, you got to give it to the Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. He can run. He can block. He can pass. And he can kick return for Alex Ross. In fact, this was the first time ever on the Crimson and Cream sideline we'd had a kickoff return for a touchdown in this series. Way to go, Alex! Helmet stickers. Trevor Knight, a $129, only 5 yards receiving, did have a sack, but no turnovers, buddy. Way to go. Defensively, Zach Sanchez, 8 tackles, 3 pass breakups, not to include the interception that he had to basically win the football game for the Sooners. If more for that pick 6, who knows what happens. And finally, another final helmet sticker for Alex Ross. The kickoff return for a touchdown by the special team specialists. This the first time in the OU Texas series, and the first time ever that any player has had 2 kickoff returns for from the distance marks. 91 this one, and of course he had the big 90-ish yarder against Tulsa. So there we go, baby. Homecoming next weekend. A thing to know early. I do know this early because it was announced game week this week. 11 a.m. kick, which means the parade will probably be pretty early, folks. So if you're heading to Norman, just be prepared because early game in Norman, tailgating will be at a premium because everybody will want to be at the parade. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for keeping all the nasty comments to yourself. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can. If you want to find me on Facebook, you can. Facebook, I'm at Harry James Taylor. Sooner Fan OK is where I'm at on Twitter. Tweet me, Facebook me. Guys, thanks for watching. It's been a blast. And as always, Boomer Sooner. Let's go see if we can beat Kansas State.